Why is it that when people think about Africa, they think about this and this and back to this? This is not the entire representation of Africa. Please, whoever is spreading this picture should get a job. That person probably has a beef with Africa. Because you tell me why the first thing that pops into people's mind or whenever they show any graphics about Africa is this. Okay, I don't even know where these children are. I don't even know who they are. And I don't know why they always pop up when you search of Africa. But I'm not ready to rant about this in this video. So we're gonna leave that one for now. And then let's talk about schools in Africa. Let's update whatever you know about Africa. Let's update that right now, okay? Schools in Africa is slightly different from schools in the West. I don't know about slightly, but it's kind of different from schools in the West. Let's start with the classroom, okay? I went to a private school, by the way. If you school in Nigeria, you most likely go to a private school. You had to go to public school, unless you're like really poor or don't want to spend much money. A typical private school looks like this. And then we have the public or government school. We call it government school here. And it looks like this. Yeah, it may not look all that fancy, but a country with corrupt governments, we appreciate the fact that they even put a school at all. Schools here are really strict with punctuality. I had to be in school latest by 7:30. So many times when I don't get to school by 7:30, I usually meet the owner of the school at the gate. And then he gives me the lashes. He lashes me a lot. I received a lot of them. But good thing, good thing. I take it without changing the facial expression. I was the cool kid. Yeah, I took it like a boss. I kind of prefer that to what they used to do before. Then, whenever you come late, you do a random punishment in front of the whole school. Bro, the disgrace with those punishments. I mean, the whole school were looking at you and you're doing a frog jump. It's worst when your crush is also watching. You have detention, we have ride a bike. What is ride a bike? It's when the teacher calls you and tells you to ride a bike. You just squat in front of the class and then stretch out your hand like you're riding a bike. And again, it's worse when your crush is watching. While public school could go as fast, cutting down the grass and picking out the weed, traditionally of course. I mean with your hands. But I'm not sure if this is still a thing. I think it's probably an old stuff. It doesn't happen anymore. I don't know. But that it is what it is. Now, let's go into lunch. I saw a lot of you complaining about school food having this problem. It tastes bad. It doesn't look good. Well, guess what? In Africa, no one provides food for you. You don't get free food. Oh no. If you do not bring food from home, then you starve in school. So what am I saying? Yeah, I'm saying that you better bring your money and buy something, or you buy something when coming to school. But there are some places where they do sell food in the school area where you can buy it. But don't expect anything from the school. The school doesn't provide food, both in private and in public school. Also here in Africa, uniform is a must. You must always put on your uniform, both in elementary school, middle schools, and high schools. Uniform is a must. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part about this is that you cannot keep any hairstyle you want. Okay, you must follow a strict hair code that is really low haircut. Okay, whatever haircut you want, you have to be really low. We're practically bound. That's what I'm trying to say. I do hear about some schools that wear uniform in the States, but at least that is complemented with a really good hairstyle. I mean, yeah, over here it's just buzz cut or whatever hairstyle you have, reduce it really low, make it really low. I was supposed to be like a solid 9.5, but they reduced me all the way to a 6.2, probably like a 3.3 point, whatever, but they reduced it. Oh, yeah, and we also have this day they call open day. Oh my god, the open day. That's the day your parents visit and then they go through your work and talk with your teachers on your performance in school. That day is the day that gives me the highest blood pressure. Oh my goodness, because I was a really nonchalant student. I barely did my assignment, barely did my classwork, and then it was just a really scary day for me because I have strict parents, okay, and they're gonna find out that I haven't been doing any work in school. And it's always worse when the person my mom compares me to is sitting next to me with her own parents. Oh my Jesus, God! He just takes one glance at your work and mine to regret every action they did to bring me into this world. Whenever something like this happens, I could already picture the yapping I'm gonna hear on our ride home. And it's not funny. During this teacher, I always tried my best to prevent her from seeing my mom because she doesn't like me. And I know what she's gonna do when she sees my mom. So gratefully and thankfully, she never did. She never met my mom, and they never discussed anything in the open day. So yeah, that's one thing I'm thankful for. In my class, we were about 20 students. Yeah, it's not much, typical private school. And we were still separated into two classes. Government school or public school, which is free, is more populated. They have about 400 students for a single grade. Like, the students are just much. Imagine a class can contain about 80 students, and there are like four other classes for that same grade. That is crazy. We do not use this kind of lockers. Oh god, they're too expensive to build. We kind of use something like this. They're more efficient and they save a lot of space. Plus, it's cheap. So we don't really go down to any hallway to look for a locker. We have a locker right there. And we need keys to secure it. So you need to get a padlock. And the whiteboard as well. A whiteboard. We didn't have fancy projector and stuff like that. Well, my school had, but that was in the IT room. We don't use it in class. I mean, we just had the standard room. Okay, also with a fan, we had a fan and windows, just the basic stuff for basic convenience in a classroom. Honestly speaking, schools in Africa is not exactly different from schools in the West. It's kind of similar. We kind of have so many similar things. It's just the tech might not be the same level, but every other experience is the same. The emotional, physical, and stuff like that. We do have school dramas and stuff like that. I'm gonna talk about them in future videos. I'm still gonna do like part two of this. I still have a lot of things I haven't spoken about in schools in Africa, but I'm gonna talk about Africa for my next video. Either I do a part two of this school, or I talk about Africa as a whole in the next video, and stop whatever you were thinking about in Africa. Oh boy, I'm gonna do the African video. Really, really gonna do the African video next time.